Do you think P Square would have sold out the O2 this year? Like if they were popping now?
To back in the day, all we needed the band to do was drop a song. All we needed Two-Face to do was drop a song. But now, on a daily basis,
You are seeing
recording artists are giving you scoops about their private life.
As they are recording the album, you are seeing it.
Bro, they are giving you everything.
Album loading.
Inside details.
Yeah.
They will even engineer
The story.
scandal.
A lot of people have been saying that Bash made in Lagos. I think you people are just so fucking dumb.
This agenda has been pushed that as a man, if you can just
If you can
throw
provide.
money here,
Exactly.
throw money
That's
there.
that's
But
what
guess
that's what most men
the
would
girl is
rather.
been making this money, so
And-
what are
and
you
the
bringing to
and
the
the provision
table?
alone
Because now the
is not
conversation
even
now is now, what are you
financial
yourself bringing to the
Of
table?
course,
Yes,
now.
what are you bringing to the table?
So most
Making it.
Men now have higher standards.
Absolutely,
Higher
brother.
standards. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Zero Condition Podcast, the greatest podcast in the history of the world. This episode is still brought to you by the family members at Pop Central TV, Channel 189 on DSTV. We are still live on Fridays every 10 p.m. And this episode was still brought to you by Chivas Regal. The giveaway bottles that we did of Chivas some weeks ago. Shout out to my guy, Folusho has come to collect his own bottle. I don't know who is the second guy again.
Wow, you're asking me. Wow, how amazing.
Whoever you are, Mr. Second Guy.
Literally.
Come and collect your bottle. Torí ma moti ma bẹ yo, ma
I think
mu
we
yo,
need to go back to that email and check that person's name.
ma moti yo. Show gbọ́ mi ma mi.
We called his name on that episode. What
I
was
can't-
his name?
is it-
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Now, this episode, we have a very eminent personality.
It's the clear crossing for me. Yeah.
Very eminent personality.
Is it your
Some people know him as Vader the White Card. Some people know him as Vader. Some people know him as Samuel Agbero. Some people know him as Samo Okowosi. Samo Olówórí Wosi.
Stop and search.
God damn it.
I can't.
And some people know him as Frank Ikemefune,
Yes, boss.
aka UI's finest.
Since when?
Back in the day.
Since when?
Alaye Shomagba Bogba.
I mean, I guess. 20 years. You are CV me, so that might as well.
That might just be not sleeping.
Winner of
Sleeping.
the first, yes, first or second? First or second?
Third, actually.
Third? Oh, yeah, you are the third.
Yeah, third.
NSC cannot be. Oh, no, we can't mention that. Sorry.
Exactly.
Wow.
Shivers to the world.
Exactly. I was looking at you like.
Maybe, no. Now, our first point of conversation is a very unfortunate situation that happened with a certain Nigerian artist that came on this episode last week. Very, very, very insane. Let me drop my drink for this.
Okay.
So, Simi came on this episode last week, on this podcast last week, and we had a very interesting conversation with her. Part of the reasons why we thought a Simi episode was going to be very good for the pod was, I don't think I've seen a Simi interview in like 4 years or 5, if I'm not mistaken. The last time I interviewed Simi as a journalist, I've not really been a journalist for like 2 years, but I interviewed Simi in 2020, and between 2020 and 2022, I don't think I saw any other, and when I left Pulse, I don't think I saw any other Simi interview. So that's part of why we thought, she released an album. There's a lot to talk about. She had a baby within that time. There's been Dudu Care after that period. She's released, this is her third album since then, if I'm not mistaken. So
She has actually done interviews since then, actually.
I don't think I have seen.
Maybe you have seen. You haven't seen, but
I don't
she
think
has been
I
doing
have
interviews.
seen.
All
Right. So we were having a conversation with her. I think I was talking about like people that have unique voices. She was talking about her unique voice and everything. And I was talking about Msaki, you know Msaki, the South African artist. Msaki, I was talking about like, I was saying she sounded like the lead singer of London Grammar. You know London Grammar?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, do you know, I'm sure you know London Grammar. Like, we were just gisting, like randomly. And she's like, I don't know anybody. I'm like, what? like if you follow Simi on Twitter, what would you not think Simi is a music head?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So that was the mental. I was shocked by the revelation. What? That doesn't even make any sense. So, that was not what I expected. Not that it doesn't make any sense. So she said what she said. She stood on it. She's like, I think she said something like, even if her husband wasn't her, if Adeayo wasn't her husband, she would not have known his music or something like that. Then a court went out about that and went viral. I think Yaba Left picked it up, and I think Instablog picked it up, and all of that. And kind of struck a nerve with her for whatever reason. Apparently, she felt like we were trying to make her meet for people that would drag her on social media. Which I get it, but I also don't get it. Does that make sense? I don't. I mean, she said people were dragging her, all of these things. So she went. I believe she tweeted some things, right, on her page, and she tweeted something on Tuesday. She tweeted some things on Tuesday. I think she tweeted it on Wednesday. I'm not sure. Then I believe yesterday again she came back and quoted the same tweet about, I thought something, blah 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 blah. I don't want to go into the details. Anybody that wants to see what she's written, you can go to her Twitter and see it. I was taken aback by the comments. I was taken aback by the comments simply because if anybody has been on this pod, you would know that we don't do any of that. It's part of why people want to come to this podcast. We don't, and when we cut things, it's because of like we are releasing things for people to go listen to the full podcast. Several people have been to this pod, and several people have seen situations, right? I've seen situations where they've had to separate between what is something bad that was being done by the producers of the pod and what is just fans being fans. Does that make sense? Yeah. I was speaking to one of the people that come to this pod earlier, like came to this pod last year, and the person was telling me that there was a cut that was posted about like where the person was talking about another artist, and the person was like, I'm not sure if I should mention the person. The person was like, at that point, I had to separate between what was just the reaction of the regular fan and what was the ill feelings of the people that run this podcast. Does that mean I don't want to mention the person's name? Yeah, right. I had to separate like what was that, because the person saw the comments and sent it to me like, "You guys don't do this." I'm like, "We don't. We still don't. That's not who we are." So we had the conversation, and the person said, "I don't know what this is about. I guess it just struck a negative chord or a different chord with this person." So I don't know. I'm not going to speak for her because I've not had a conversation with her since then. But I don't know what anybody has been going through. This is not who we are. We don't do any of that stuff, right? We have not had to do it. People come to this podcast to speak with us, and then when we cut things that make, like, for example, what could be crazier than Peruzzi coming to this podcast and speaking about Davido openly, freely, and then Davido himself going on Instagram to hail the pod when people were saying, why would he say that about Davido, right? Do you remember that? So I don't know what is going to cause any of that. Anyway,
the long and short is
the long and short of
Fortolani keeps going and going.
The long and short of it is
the podcast is not for clickbait conversations, and
never been.
That's never been and never will be. Like, it's just to have conversations and just gist generally.
And I wish
never
I was the
try
best.
to throw anybody under the bus. Like,
yep.
It's not to even get any popularity. I try to be it's just to have fun and have a good time. And Quincy, please drop that. I don't know what you were doing.
Sorry, please before I go, please everybody go and stream Lost and Found. And tag me that if you like the album. Thank you.
Quincy needs to stop drinking. First and foremost, you see that thing that you were doing with Adeayo, don't try it again. Don't try. I hope you're listening to me, Quincy. Do not try it again.
Sorry, Veda. Sorry, a lot of things happened on the last.
I don't know if Veda even saw the last episode.
Veda, have you been listening to the episode to the pod?
Sparing.
Okay, that
Just
means you might not have listened to the last episode.
You're just going in on the boy. You didn't even, if you don't like something, tell us you don't like something. It will label.
First is first. I think he texted me that to apologize to Adeayo. And I think he also apologized to Adeayo.
You should apologize publicly. You don't insult people publicly and
then apologize
privately. That's manipulation. When you mess up publicly, apologize publicly. Go on your Instagram and do report video camera. You can come and pay them here to do video for you. Say, hi Adeayo, I would like to publicly apologize for insulting you.
Personally, I was also caught between a rock and a hard place. I feel like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I didn't stand up for Adeayo." I'm like,
please, I beg. You and Adeayo.
You guys don't. I don't have to address that shit on the on air.
Like,
does that make sense? And shout out to everybody that had an opinion on the pod. I hope you are using the same energy to stream the pod and send us emails. Meanwhile, we got a fan mail this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, someone that was going on and on. Veda, sorry.
Do your thing.
No.
Why are you opening that? Veda, what have you been up to?
Tanto Pelemo, sorry. Tanto Pelemo sends a message on the 10th of July and says, the last episode was such an amazing one. I listened to it with my girlfriend and we couldn't stop laughing together. You guys were brilliant as usual with your takes on Afrobeats and the top 3 before the current top 3. Wow. I'm such a big fan of P-Square and their music. I was recently having a conversation with my co-worker about P-Square being able to sell out the O2 Arena. So seeing them being mentioned brings me so much sort of pride as a fan.
Which P-Square? Which episode is this?
Wally episode.
Okay.
Do you guys think P-Square... this is part of the reason why I wanted to read this email. Do you think P-Square would have sold out the O2 this year? Like if they were popping now?
Let me not even talk. I talk, please.
So are you saying...
If they were still popping till now, would they sell out the O2?
Say this was their prime.
They were still popping.
It's a two-pronged conversation now.
So there are two different things.
Yeah, there are two different things.
Say they were still popping now. It's not the same as say this is their prime.
Yeah.
So in their prime...
Effortlessly, yes.
But say they're still popping.
If now was their prime and we were listening to the same thing.
Busybody dropped this year.
Exactly. Because the sound has changed.
So you have to contextualize it.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to.
You have to contextualize it because now if you are saying we should juxtapose the sound
with the time.
With the times, right?
Yeah.
Busybody might not be a hit.
Might not.
Yes.
Jumi would be though. That's a timeless jam, brother.
I don't know that it'll be to the extent that it was.
I hear you on that.
And also, I think that right now, regardless of who you are, I think it's extremely impossible for anybody to say any song will be a hit song right now because you don't even know what will be a hit song. These days, the way people used to be able to say, oh, that song will be a hit song, I don't think we can do it now because it's like August and it's like everybody like, oh my God, that song is the next hit song. That song. I feel like things have changed so badly that everyone is just riding the wave. I don't think anybody has any assurance. Shout out to Davido anymore.
You think you're barren now?
I think so.
There's a rapper
that was my
you.
moment. No, wait. That's the 16 bar. No.
Do you know what 16 bar is?
Wait.
Do you know how long it takes to craft 16 bar?
Let me do it. Let me do it again. I'll count the bars. I think it's
You're counting words, not bars.
possible for anyone to say a hit song. Shout out to Davido. 21 bars.
Do your thing,
bro.
man.
Bro. Do you know what they call that?
Emma, call me.
Girl math.
Show me, that's girl math. Emma, call me.
Go off.
Go off. I miss the days when these guys used to go off.
She said, I think 4 words, she doesn't count 2. So that you can reach 16.
Bro,
what do you guys think about that?
Analogy, Mode 9 will probably be dropping like 700 bars per song.
Blood.
Or 8.5 million. How many bars were in Niduro Olamide? Going by that.
Molenu, Dark Quest.
Bro, that's like 86 bars.
But do you think that it is difficult for people to predict a hit song now with the way things have changed?
I don't think anybody has ever been able to predict a hit song. Yeah, no. I don't think that's ever
But
happened.
I've watched interviews where some people have, I don't want to mention names so that I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Where some people have said that, oh, before I dropped the song, I knew the song was going to be a hit. Were they lying?
So, Melody, I'm also a music listener. There are times when, like, I said it on a Facts Only episode after maybe Lagos dropped, that Essence is one of the best Nigerians. It wasn't even a single at the time. It
That was
was
my
just a
favorite
song,
song of the album.
right? It was my favorite song on the album,
Is it?
right? Which is very funny, by the way. I need to address something. A lot of people have been saying that Bash made in Lagos. I think you people are just so fucking dumb. Because all it's going to take you is a simple Google search for you to see what's
Did you
happening.
bash me in Lagos? Did you give it
No,
a 7 or something?
Brother,
I remember.
I don't understand. Now, going back to this conversation.
Yeah.
Just because I said it at the time and I probably had a hunch that it was going to be a hit song, didn't mean I had a crystal ball and I was sure that it was going to be a hit song. For every song that I got correct and said it was going to be a hit song, there are dozens more that I got wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you understand? And in all of those situations when I got them right, it wasn't like, there are times when you are sure that this is going to be a hit song. It just doesn't turn out to be a hit song. Right? So I don't think anybody has ever, you can know what a good song is.
Yes.
You know what a great single worthy song is. You're an artist. I don't have to explain this. Like a great single worthy song, but it doesn't mean that when it drops, you throw all the money at it that is going to go in. It might just not go in for whatever reason. Like there's been a time where I was marketing one song, putting money behind it. It was a song that was released 5 years prior that was blowing up. Do you understand? Like it happens. You just don't know. Right? So I don't think there was ever any time. I just think the templates for every era of music where music has succeeded has changed, constantly evolved.
Yeah.
I think it was a little simpler to push music because of the avenues that you needed, the marketing avenues that you needed in the early 2010s or late 2000s. Like if you had money, you had a great song that fit a particular template in the late 2000s, early 2010s. You had someone that could do a lot of legwork for you and put it on radio, blah, 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 blah. Chances are the song is going to enter.
Yeah.
Now, it's so fucking different. Because for you to even understand, like then, you just had to put the song on radio, put a lot of backing behind it. If it's a great song, it's most likely going to pick up. Especially if there's a buy-in from the OAPs. Now, you can have buy-in, like the new OAPs, with all due respect to your profession, the new OAPs are the influencers. They are the ones that have the power now, right? They are the ones that can make the hit songs now. Like the biggest, let's say Soft made it, might like your song now. It doesn't mean the song is going to be a hit. Even if it does like 72 dances to it in a week, it doesn't mean that song is still going to be a hit. Like the times now are so insane. And I think it's the fact that we have access to so much content. We have access to all the content at the same time. And the fact that so much is happening at the same time. Like right now, we are becoming a digital country. We are not even noticing right now.
I hate it so
It's
much.
insane.
Guys,
The traditional avenues can't blow music anymore. It's just the truth.
the traditional avenue can't blow music anymore.
Yeah.
What are you referring to now? Radio, TV, and all of those things. So are you saying that there's a higher chance of a song blowing up digitally than it is traditionally? Yes, I've answered that myself. Yeah.
No. I think it's not like they've completely lost the
Yeah.
power, especially
I said there's a higher
cosmopolitan,
chance.
in
It's a
cosmopolitan
higher chance. I
cities,
didn't say that.
right? In
Yes.
bigger cities,
Yes,
in Lagos, for example, in Abuja, and the unfortunate part of music is more often than not, the cosmopolitan cities determine the palette of all the other cities. More often than not, it's just it's what it is.
They don't like
it's
it.
life.
The artists don't like you.
Veda
when you say that.
doesn't like
Veda,
you when I
please
say that,
Give
because
us
it's
your
not
point.
about
When he wants to say something like,
No, I'm just trying to give a holistic perspective.
Yes, please.
Give it to me.
As regards this subject matter. I think there's also a part that we seem to be neglecting,
okay.
in this subject matter. During the times of P Square, we basically kickstarted this conversation.
Yes.
There had always been a select few who were in the upper echelon.
Yeah.
So it wasn't solely about the music,
Also about status.
but about status and about
Personality.
Yep.
Now,
Largely.
because we did not have so much access into their private lives and things that were going on.
They showed up.
Most of the time, they only spoke through their music. We didn't really know much. We were only getting scoops.
Facts.
So we were always waiting, right? So that also had a psychological conditioning towards how listeners received the song.
And superstardom.
You get me? Now, it's different. Because now,
Seen it in real time.
it's decentralized. Now, there aren't a select few anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, you know that. Even if we are taking contemporary dictates into perspective, the new internet dispensation, Web3, is basically decentralized internet, right? That is the same thing that will be obtainable across industries.
Yep.
A lot of things will be decentralized. And that's the same thing that is going on the music scene now. A lot of people don't care about features anymore. I don't really have to feature you, because it seems like the money that I'd rather use to feature you, I'd rather put it into promotion.
Marketing.
Right? Since the traditional, like you said, the traditional channels are no longer as powerful as they used to be. So I just invest money in influencers, invest money in TikTok, ads, OAPs, and just, inshallah, the rest. You get me? So that's what it is now. Now, because the game has changed, you get me? Now you are not just a recording artist.
No, you're not.
You are a content creator.
Yep.
Right? You're a content creator.
That's bootstrapping, though.
You are also forced to be a philosopher in this time. Because you must have
a personality.
Bro.
Yeah.
You must have valid perspectives concerning things that have absolutely nothing to do
with you.
With you. You must say something. Yes. You've seen scenarios wherein people are having a conversation. Maybe it's a socio-political discourse.
Yeah.
And people tag artists and say, what's your opinion about this?
And they're hammering at you if you're not saying anything.
So your absence indicates complicity, that you are complicit.
Silence people like approval.
Exactly, meaning you are not speaking truth to power. Right? So you realize that at this point in time, it's not just your music that is required of you, as opposed to back in the day when
your
all
music
we
is
needed
enough.
Was a song. All we needed the band to do was drop a song. All we needed Two-Face to do was drop a song. The other gossips and inside scoops they were so good that they felt new when you were getting them. Sincerely, we cherished them because we knew that, it's not so rampant. Yeah. Like, you get me? Before we can get inside scoop from you again, it will take time.
Yep.
Right? So there was that. But now, on a daily basis, recording artists are giving you scoops about their private life.
As they are recording the album, you are seeing it.
Bro, they are giving you everything.
Album loading.
Inside details.
Yeah.
They will even engineer
the
story.
Scandal.
And give it to their fans, their stance on Twitter.
Bro, so you get. And that's what happens when there is too much, you have access to too much information and all of that. The music in itself begins to lose value.
Demystification.
Exactly, the demystification. Now, people are more focused on the other things other than the music. It is also one of the things that is also one of the factors when you consider the fact that people have a shorter attention span now. You get me? Like, okay, you've dropped this, when is the next one? You get?
Yeah.
Also, you have to, it's a lot of factors. You also have to take into consideration the fact that, advance self day.
Yeah.
So you drop this, advance don't day ready for you to drop another one. Yeah. You get me? So there isn't
one factor.
Bro, the anticipation no really day again. Once you drop like this, next week we expect you to drop another.
The culture of retention and stickiness is wearing maybe not wearing thinner. I don't even think people have. I think it's an equal division between short attention span and dedicated attention span. It's not like people are interested in what they are still interested in. Does that make sense? They are just not interested in everything. So the reason why we are saying it's short attention span is because we are seeing how people are consuming all the content in real time. We are seeing the numbers on the music. We are seeing the numbers on the TikToks. We are seeing everything in real time. So we are thinking, because people are not listening to everything at the same time. First things first, it's impossible to consume everything at the same time.
But that's what they're trying to do.
No, I don't think so. Do you know why I don't think so, Melody? Because at the end of the day, there's a reason why what is quality and well marketed, and then what is from people that people already like still end up staying on top.
Let me now ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you believe that, because I was even going to ask you a question, I don't need to be done talking first, but let me ask Alani first. The reason I don't agree with what you're saying is, it's not a situation of, what's that thing you said? Short attention span, and what's the second one?
Dedicated attention spans.
How many times as a person, individually, do you hold your phone?
Yeah.
And the entire day, you tell yourself that I'm going to stay on only Instagram today.
Yeah.
And you spend the entire day on Instagram. And even while you're doing that, you're not going to check other platforms. It is extremely difficult now for people to stay put on one social media app without checking plenty things at the same time. It's like you are here, you are there, you are here. You don't want to see that on Facebook. You don't want to see what's happening on TikTok. You don't want to see what's happening on Twitter. So much so that sometimes when you're reading a tweet on Twitter, in the middle of reading that tweet, you go to go and check Facebook. Before you come back, you're out of that conversation. You're into the next. It's just like too many things are happening at the same time. And it's almost impossible for you to just stay put in one place and just enjoy one thing. So now it now feels like the people that are giving you the content, they now have to do extra
to put it in your face.
That's why they will shoot a movie, and when they are done shooting that movie, they won't wait till it drops at the cinema or whatever. They'll do trailer. They'll do TikTok content.
Do ads for
before
the
they even announce the movie. Before do showcase. They'll do turn my back to review one letter so that to keep you waiting and keep you there.
They will have
rollout.
They will have different trailers. Back in the day, it was just one trailer.
Now
we have
and that trailer is only on the CD of
exactly.
Trailers now have rollouts. They have rollouts for trailers before they now have rollouts for the movie.
Absolutely.
It's mine. It's just please. Why are you covering it? Can
cover
you
it.
Cover it. Yeah. Nikini, cover king. Ba mi gbon jemi wa sharp. Ma je go pe.
Melody.
Ma pe rara.
Hold.
Come back pe. You people should bring my food though. I don't know what people are talking about. Ba mi gbon jemi.
Okay. So
that's my point.
So Melody, you are talking
I
can I
sorry,
is it my question?
No, sorry, Tonani. I also have to disagree with you too. The part where both of you were saying that. Wait, let me pass my food. Are you shy? You didn't cut the chicken. Now like this thing like this. Nikini. She didn't cut the chicken. We can't eat the chicken. If you don't want me to pay, give someone.
Oh yeah.
I disagree with you on the part where you said that.
But can I answer the question
yes,
first?
Yes, you will. Before you go, go on.
So I think you are talking about social media. I'm talking about music. I don't disagree with you on the tenets of saying people now have to put the music in people's faces. I don't disagree with you on that. I think you're right? I think that's an incidence of, I think what you're talking about is also fear of missing out.
Yes.
Right? Fear of missing out plays a lot of roles in some of the things that I'm talking about. But when it comes to, we're talking about music as a product, as something that makes people interested. I don't disagree with you by saying that you need to put the music in people's faces. I don't disagree. But I think that has always existed, but in different forms. Right? Back in the day, it was it's not just now that people are paying to engineer scandals. People used to engineer dating rumors. They used to engineer like relationship. They would say to give the person personality, it needs a scandal. Do you understand? It's always been here. It's PR. It's always been around, right? Like there are rumors that Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake their relationship was not real, that it was engineered. Like there are tons of relationships that people are saying they were engineered. Yeah. Right? So I think that has always been a case. Like the concept of marketing. Saturation has always been a case, especially after technology came into the industry. It's just the saturation just got worse. Maybe not worse, but the access got better in terms of real-time access to content. And it now looks like there's more. But I'm saying it's still dedicated because at the end of the day, people select what they want to listen to.
Bro, not really. So here's the thing.
I think so.
So here's the thing.
I think so.
I think we should have a holistic view concerning this thing. There are too many things competing with your music listening time.
Bro.
There's something called doom scrolling.
I know.
You're on your phone, right? Your intention is to check just one reel.
You are going somewhere.
And you're now here's the thing. This whole attention span thing
you can join.
is very Moa. I'll try best. Now, it's real. Very real. In fact,
Very real.
it's realer than we don't know to what extent. You know why? Because look, all these companies that set up platforms, they are not foolish. They aggregate data.
100%.
And
And they want to keep you seeing that shit.
bro, all of the platforms that they are putting out is optimized
100%. To make you come back.
to make you come back. So they don't give you. So they create avenues through which you can digest short form content, content,
Yep.
and keep digesting,
Yep.
right? In that,
So to what you're saying is retention and stickiness. That's their goal. Like retain you
Yep.
and make you stick to the
Yep.
place. That's what it is.
and because we have all fallen prey to this
that.
thing, sincerely speaking, we don't have preference anymore because the algorithm is making the decision for us.
you.
This video, I'm seeing a motivational or whatever. The next one, I'm seeing cooking content.
Yep.
The next one, I'm seeing fashion. Next one, I'm
And the
seeing.
moment you like one thing, it's going to keep bringing that.
You understand? Next one, I'm seeing faith content. I'm seeing Giriwim. I'm seeing so many things. And then I'm wondering, like, okay, so what exactly
It's my decision.
is my decision in all of these things, right? I have no say in. Now, you know where you're going to say this thing done bad, right? I, for instance, because I'm an avid learner, I feel sit down, watch 3-hour lecture. But I realize that the number of people who are doing that
Very slim.
in this generation right now, bro, is microscopically few.
Yes, it is.
People don't have that kind of time again now. I go say, bro, I did listen to a lecture. Maybe I'm listening to a lecture from Harvard Business School or something. It's 3 hours long. I sit down. I no press phone. I sit down. I just dey watch. Right? 3 hours. 3 hours. Person if he hit me up, you also they watch one lecture. For in mind, if you say even like 15, 20 minutes lecture, if he hit me up in the next 1 hour,
So you never finish.
I still there on top of him. The only one that say, waiting to happen. Now, it's because I was able to manage to rewire
Your mind.
my mind. You understand? But most people will not do that. You understand? And that's where the problem is.
And you know the funny thing is that for someone who is talking about like people saying that you watching a 3-hour lecture and someone saying, and guy, you see they watch 3-hour lecture, you see they here. The people that are like surprised, they are not doing anything better in those 3 hours.
No. But they think they are.
Oh, yeah.
They can spend those 3 hours on social
On
media.
Twitter.
And I'm not even saying this like, even me, sometimes it's like, that's why I'm very intentional about not using my phone to read books. I'm not going to do it. Ebook, I'm not going to do it.
You're going to keep going to Twitter.
I'm going to go back to social media. So I stick to hardcover books
hardcover.
because it's difficult. So that's why I also feel like it plays into music right now, where it's like people's attention span. You see that sometimes artists will put in so much effort into making sure that the first 5 seconds or first 10 seconds will give you bam, bam, bam to make you stay, because you know that the button duro de 20 seconds or lewu.
Yeah.
It do lewu.
I
Something
think,
has to bring you in and
Yeah.
arrest your attention within the first 5 seconds.
Bro,
Yeah.
see, imagine how difficult it is to be an artist. Those
it
kind of
is.
things, like
And do you see why you shouldn't be blaming them when they are thinking about TikTok song when they are recording now?
no, that one is one. Also, let's not also forget that I feel like now, Veda, you people are
Are you still an artist?
they kill me. That's stop.
Not really. I do it sparingly, bro. I'm on a different mission right now.
What mission are you on?
Okay, so
Veda says no more an artist.
I didn't say
Exclusive.
I'm no more an artist.
Olóhùn kì í rap more.
Once in a while, we'll
LD,
Well-
your chickens looking some
No, no, Tolani, no. Continue, Jerry. Samo, hello.
once in a while we'll indulge. Right now, I teach. For real. I teach high flyers and captains of industry how to position personal branding for the future. So it's personal branding from a futuristic perspective. That's what I do now.
Hey,
Legit.
good.
Mi ò tí gbé wá Twitter ni mi ò rán.
because
Go and check my IG.
Instagram. What you check?
You know the funny thing is, I was casually just thinking about you. Like, I can't even remember what happened. Who I was talking to, like, níbo ni Samo wà? Amari Samo.
So you are not doing Samuel again now?
Once in a while.
This sounds like a man that has a family to feed.
Bro, once in
What
a
with
while.
married?
Bro,
Owó yẹn ní láti pé.
once in Musoni, I teach high flyers
I did
and
understand.
captains of industry, my brother.
Pause.
Oh boy.
But also, as someone who is,
That's my, that's my.
shout out to
clientele.
you. I think it's actually amazing as a person if you can continue.
This is your third evolution, you know that, or fourth.
How do you know what I'm about to say?
I'm the king of
I was
reinvention.
about to say that. Do you know how
Yeah, I'm very proud of
amazing
you.
it is as a person for you to be able to constantly evolve?
Rapper, We Talk Sound co-founder,
Samo,
Samuel Agbero.
Yeah, comedy content, and now we're into a whole new.
it's just
different-
like
That's four.
there's
That's
just
the
different
same,
layers. That is so amazing.
I don't know, but you're going to come out serious, Joe.
You know-
No,
Show
no.
personality.
That's why I'm here to, laissez-faire.
Yeah,
Like
just
free market.
Laissez-faire to come and have fun with
Do you understand? It's not like we're too choke here.
You get me?
We're too serious,
So
serious
yeah, I'm just here to
catch some fun.
exactly to recover some of the mental calories I've burnt.
You do be like you bought a lot.
Honestly speaking, whenever I have a conversation with him, I'm reminded of that okay, I used to be foolish because he reminds me of it. Oh, Bona.
I agree with you
Oh,
on that.
Bona.
Really
Generally speaking,
Really well. I don't
and
think
you
so.
stress me out a lot.
I will see you very soon.
I agree on the second one.
Maria soon.
You stress me out a lot.
Maria soon.
But I forgive you in advance.
Anyway, then.
But speaking about social media,
Yeah.
do you think that Twitter has been better with the new founder, with the new owner,
That's
the
a,
new
that,
founder?
that- that's a very good
Do you
conversation.
think Twitter has been better with the new founder? We all had our reservations, but Kenio. Aside from the plenty
I
porn,
think it's a yes and a no, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just-
What do you think?
porn take lórí Twitter.
What do you think? Do you watch the porn?
No,
Okay. Are you sure?
I don't.
You're sure?
I don't.
No,
I actually don't.
you know where there's no person,
Listen, I also know that.
there's an eye.
Let me tell you why I know that. Let me tell you how you know that I really don't. Is that when you continuously watch something, it continues to show on your tail.
Yep.
So I rarely see it, but I'm always seeing complaints about it. It's like porn is too much. Porn is too. Everybody's always complaining, and I'm just like, I do not like the idea of that monetization thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it has also made that place. The struggle is too much.
Yep.
People just want to do the most to get that money.
Yep.
And
How much are they getting paid?
I don't know. Sambo, tell us. Lori Sambo.
Me, I did not monetize my page.
Why?
I don't know.
You see? What can share from art?
Oh, bo.
I didn't monetize my page. Me.
Oh, need it. It.
Dear diary. Let me just doing it for fun. I just feel like the addition of money to it just make people just do the most.
So I didn't want to. Primarily, I knew that if
Can they bring us more ships?
I knew that if I started to set sites
Please do
on,
something to pay for this one.
if I started to set
beating from here.
sites on like the monetization of Twitter, I go one day there too for, and before you know I go begin the
agree.
yarn nonsense,
I
and it's
agree.
not and it's
Because
off
the
brand for
struggle
me.
will be too real.
It's off brand for. I only come there to talk Samoa and Arsenal. That's all I do.
Ooh.
Even music, I don't chook man for music conversations. Nothing like that. Just Arsenal. And the day I drop Samoa and I'm off. I don't have the time for. So I'm like, okay, where I don't even have the time to go, why would I monetize the account? I just say, oh, I beg, I don't get interest. And how much is the money really?
It's not
I
plenty
think
money.
some people are making money, Sha.
It's not plenty.
I mean, those are people who do it as a full-time job. Bro, I
Yeah.
do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You get me? Me or Raye. So what's the
So,
point?
I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. So I'm going to start from the man himself.
Yep.
Shout out to Steve Dede. I was having a conversation with Steve Dede last year after he took over.
Steve, be my speaker.
Elon Musk always gives off the vibe of, he was born rich.
Yeah.
You know what I want to say?
It gives off the vibe of an elitist. Once in a while. Of someone maybe not elitist, but someone that has had everything at their beck and call. And if they don't have, and when they have things at their beck and call, they just do it however they want. Like, you just want to live by your own rules. I guess that's how most human beings are, but most human beings are still like considerate, right? I think there's a reason why he was a Twitter user, right? Who enjoyed the platform. And he hated what the platform became. And because he had the money, he was the richest man in the world, he felt like he could finance the purchase of the company, one, take it private, two, and then change the rules of the platform. Now, there are some things that Twitter I'm not even sure it was Jack Dorsey. From what I gathered, I think it was the board and like the culture, and there were lots of woke people
Oh, yeah,
in the
absolutely.
company, right? and they were more about, they didn't realize. So that's another problem. It's a humanity problem, where motion chicken, you know.
Give us the details. Educate us.
Where one chicken Lori podcast, where like the people who, if you give human beings too much power, regardless of what their intent that they started it was or is, they are going to abuse it, because that's the concept of humanity. In government, did you do government? Yes. In government, it's the concept of like separation of powers and checks and balances.
Checks and balances.
Those things exist for a reason, because abuse of power is real. Now, as a world, liberalism became something that everybody aspired to. We thought it was like something good. It was at the start. It still is in a lot of places.
It was hijacked.
Exactly. It was hijacked by humanity. It was a humanity problem. It wasn't that liberalism in its inherently...
No.
The extreme liberalists are as bad as the extreme conservatives. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
The only sensible people are people that are kind of in the middle, that borrow from both sides and find
perspectives.
balance.
Yes.
Right? So these people, they had too much power. They felt like they couldn't be questioned. They were censoring people. They thought they were cancelling the bad voices from the platform. But what they were essentially doing was censorship. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Right?
They became that very thing
that they were fighting against. Thank you. So these guys saw an opportunity to come in. But the problem was he gives up the vibe of an extreme conservativist. Right? Let's be honest. If I'm going to be honest. It's like an extreme rightist. So he came in and he also started basically because Ora Osokofera initially he encountered problems, because when they gave him the report, he said there were too much bots on the platform. Then tried to get out of it. Then those guys were like, "Nah, you can't get out. You got to pay that 45 billion, whatever it was, or 46, I think." Right? So he ended up buying the company. First thing he did, fired people. He started running like his father's house. Do you understand? Like they were, and then where I say it's elitist was it tried to make it it tried to make it like I don't know what to say, how to describe it, like a rarefied air type of thing. If you can pay for this, then you can get these privileges. Do you understand? It's not dissimilar to the benefits of aristocracy or the upper class and the lower class, the everybody and the Mekudo. The only difference is that you can pay to become a member of quote unquote upper class. Right? Yeah. Exactly. So I think I agree with the part of him coming to correct the censorship and the extreme liberalism that Twitter had become a problem for. I think that's been good. But on his own part, there's too much extreme terrible content that's on Twitter right now. Yeah. Like people can just open their mouth and say whatever the fuck. There's no consequences. Oh, yeah. Like it's a massive problem. Someone like OnlyFans is Twitter is OnlyFans central now, because under every tweet you are seeing OnlyFans promo.
Absolutely.
I can tweet about serious shit like
it's
Christianity.
So wild.
And see someone that say, check my OF, look at my ass. I can tweet about my girlfriend, the fact that I love my girlfriend's lips. Oh, mine are better. Like, the fuck are we doing here? And next thing, I'm seeing backshot thread. Everybody's posting backshot. Bro!
What's backshot thread?
Don't see backshot. Don't open backshot thread, whatever you do.
Is it
thread? Someone writes, let's start a thread of backshots today, and everybody will start posting backshots. It's
so funny, and I feel like people do all these things just because they know they're going to get money at the end of the month.
Bro,
it's just
I don't know that they are financially. I don't know that they are remunerated for obscene content. Though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think they are.
I don't think so. No.
Because ads, sure? I'm not sure that ads can run on that type of content. I don't think so.
So I think, I hear you on that.
Yeah, I don't think, because it's based off of ads, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that ads would appear in maybe that kind of content or that kind of thread. I don't think that ads will appear there. And if ads don't appear there, no matter how viral it is, right? It's not going to translate into remuneration. But it may give... So if you notice, a whole lot of... I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm very disconnected, from Twitter. Bro, I have literally been putting out a video every day from the 10th of June up until now. Like, virtually every day. And I have not put one on Twitter. But I've been posting on Instagram because I don't know, man. I don't know. Yum don't day my neck. Say, when why they post for Twitter? I don't know, bro. Like I don't. I feel like I do not understand what's going on there much anymore, and I don't care enough to investigate.
I hear you on that.
I hear you on that, actually.
But I think that is a thing of. I know that a lot of people sponsor maybe Telegram groups.
Yeah.
Or something, right?
Sex Telegram groups.
Movies, right?
Yep.
So they divert. People
Someone
there.
has been advertising guns to me on Twitter.
So they divert people to
like your comment.
I'll
Telegram.
post something. Like the good thing is they censor the content, but me, I'm curious about what Twitter is censoring.
Exactly.
And I go and click and I'm seeing, I have a something for sale. Like, what
Do
the
you know
fuck
you live
is
in
going on
Nigeria?
here? No, I'm not sure it's Nigerian. Even if
I'm
it
not
was
sure. I didn't
Nigerian,
know
but
you live in
it's still
Nigeria.
insane. Like, this is part of the things. So I'm thinking, what is the American Senate doing? Because when arms were very popular on Facebook, and this cheat was popular on Facebook, they dragged Mark Zuckerberg to the front of the Senate.
Yep.
Why has Homeboy not been to the front of the Senate?
Yep.
Like, bro, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to see porn.
Yep.
But I can still scroll past heterosexual porn without being offended. But bro, the other type,
Is on Twitter.
sometimes you can just scroll and like, especially in comment sections. And you know the T on Twitter is usually in comment sections. The T on Twitter is usually in comment sections.
I just think that generally, even away from all of this, do you find social media boring now?
And then it took the like button away. Now I can't stalk people. I don't know what they're thinking. I fucking hate
That's
that
such
shit.
a stupid thing.
I fucking hate that
it
shit.
so much.
You can't tell
Like,
where their perspectives are
I
right
hate
now.
it so much.
I love that,
a guy said that's how I get to be passive aggressive to my
bro. Because she's going to check
I
it,
tell my side of the story.
brother. You will drop breadcrumbs of likes. She traces it until she gets her point of view.
Because she's never going to get it.
It's actually it's so annoying.
Oh my god.
It's insane. Shit.
Oh my god.
It's so wild.
I just generally think that social media is now boring.
I think we're just old, reality. I think we're older. We discussed this the last year, though.
No, people
are still having fun.
People who are much younger than let's accept the fact that we are aging.
Yeah.
So the kind of fun that people have on TikTok, this whole sincerely, I don't understand anything,
Bro.
that they are saying.
Lost.
I don't know how it translates into money. I sincerely do not know, right? So when I see all these
TikTok Live,
things,
Abi?
but TikTok Live, I see this, I see all these icons, I don't get it. And
Even that one that they always say, press me.
yeah, all of that. I don't understand it.
I don't
And
understand.
sincerely speaking, I'm too tired to investigate.
I think that what you just said
Is your problem.
Insanely true. I'm actually not. And I feel like I've even gotten to a place where let me tell you where I am as a person. I've gotten to a place where I'm not even explaining myself anymore. I'm actually genuinely too. I'm too tired.
I'm too tired, man.
I'm so tired. I was talking now. I went to my to-do list and I saw that I put on my to-do list. Create time to check TikTok for 10 minutes. So my to-do list.
Just to keep in touch.
Do you understand? Like,
I've not opened that app in I have about probably 16
I said I bought
followers.
TikTok. I bought stand so that I would do TikTok.
Yeah, but
videos.
I saw that. We did YouTube. Was it yesterday or the day first that you wanted to do a get ready with me video?
I did nothing.
You've been trying to. Last year you were having a time of your life on TikTok.
I was trying.
It was a struggle.
It was such a struggle. And even the get ready with me one I wanted to do was actually for a job I went to do. Like, okay, you know how girls will say, today I'm hosting Nikimi.
Do you think it's because you don't have to earn from it?
I don't think so. I used to enjoy it. Like, before my friends even used to make mockery of me. Like, I'm not always dancing on Instagram. Dance Nikimi. Like, what's there to dance about? What's the...
Actually, you were used to dance.
I used to dance. Like, I used to have fun. I play my music face song. I'm like, now I don't even have to. I have to like.
I think it's a thing of priorities are
So
fundamentally changing.
Yeah, that's life.
For me now, for instance, bro, I literally have consultation sessions where I'm talking with people who run businesses, people who run. People would.
For my son, Sam,
Bro, I'm telling you,
Hey.
you're having a 45-minute conversation with people who have made hundreds of millions, right? So what's the perspective that you are giving them about personal branding?
You must be
That
really
must
smart
come
or be
correct.
really informed.
Brother.
Because, yes.
So
Or both.
so for me,
And where you are going to get that information?
brother,
That's
your
what you
headache.
research.
holy imagine gbogbo mental gymnastics.
I swear to
Tí mo
God.
ti máa ṣe.
You are going to Jimmy.
Brother.
Lórí oru tó máa mú ẹ.
Brother.
Láti inú.
Màá wá ṣe tán. Màá wá ní mo fẹ́ lọ investigate what this icon means on TikTok. Me ráyè now. Me ráyè now. So
want to enjoy social media.
every single thing that I do right now points towards something that can earn me money or guarantee me relevance.
Yeah.
You understand? At least within the confinement of the things that I can do. You get. So sincerely speaking, I'm very ruthless right now with the things that I say yes
I
to.
agree.
I'm extremely
That I mean to
ruthless.
actually.
Bro, no.
Actually,
Sorry.
it's like
That
I'm not
mean
doing
rántí,
this.
sorry gan.
I'm not,
no.
bro. I'm not doing this.
It's
I'm
as
actually
simple,
really not
no.
doing this. I'm not doing this.
Go walk.
Tori, I sure say by the time you get serious with your own life, ọmọ láwọn kan ti máa sọ fún mi pé àfàjẹ́ ká ṣe kí ni wàá sọ
Wait,
pé no,
no.
and I will respect it.
I agree.
You understand? So, bro, ayọ̀pọ̀ now. Sincerely speaking, destiny is measured as a function of time.
And I also think that there's this, I don't know if you just, but I just like there's this,
Sorry.
so no, it's fine. There's this wave of mental. I don't know
Melody,
what-
social media is not healthy. Like,
It's not.
No,
not
not even
healthy.
social media. I'm just saying that personally, I feel like lots of people are just tired. Away from social media.
Melody,
just
the
have
people in your circles, we are older. Àti ń dàgbà.
mentally drained.
Melody, àti ń dàgbà.
You start understanding why our parents were grumpy
Yeah.
half the time.
Maybe not even grumpy, right? It's just the concept of it's not your interest
No,
anymore.
brother, wait.
Not
Oh,
even that.
let me tell you something.
We love everybody.
Right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you on a cumulative 3 hours sleep.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by
That's not good, though.
That's really bad.
Brother, sincerely, I don't know
How old are you now,
My-
Vida?
I'll be 31 tomorrow.
Brother, you need to start.
Why are you not sleeping though? Are you thinking? Show no.
Brother,
No, so here's the thing. I have
wandering mind.
I have no worry whatsoever in my life. Bro, I'm in the best headspace I've ever been. Right
Why are
now.
you not sleeping?
you're just doing things
There are things
that you're doing that are taking your time.
And I'm in my head, I'm like, shit. If I known
I would have started this
this,
earlier.
I go down the run this thing since.
Brother, blood pressure,
Right?
like we are over 30. Blood pressure.
Moment check.
Vida, you're going to
brother,
break
check your
down.
blood
man,
pressure.
every
Get it
Sunday.
talk.
Every Sunday, man. No, it's for my church.
Oh, okay.
I need clinics. Martin love, check. Martin.
Vida, you will break down.
My blood pressure is.
It's not healthy. Oh.
I
Vida,
know,
you
right?
break down.
I'm trying. I'm trying, but I'm just telling you
How generally?
how it is. You know.
Life, yeah.
And sincerely speaking, you will realize that this thing is not an isolated incident.
Yes,
you will
it
realize
is.
that I'm speaking the minds of a lot of people.
Yes, you
You
are.
want me to say, "Orun yi." A little sleep, a little
Everything's
slumber.
scheduled.
Poverty will just sneak up on you.
Allah my jari.
No matter the rainy season.
and I also think that for people who I feel like for young people who probably did not grow up privileged, there's more pressure.
So for young people who not grow up privileged but have lofty dreams, that's the thing. For me, for
And
instance,
responsibilities.
OT,
See, I you heard you say that twice.
Melody, black tax is not your mate.
It's not. It's not.
the worst,
Melody, you are paying for this, Abi?
I'm sure you know I won't do that.
the worst kind of black tax
The ones
is
that you are the only one that is.
the one that is self-imposed,
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
wherein you assume the responsibilities, right? And you're not under pressure, but you just cannot bear to see things
Not go well.
not go well.
But my guy, okay. Now the question is that conditioning or is it a trauma response
Or just kindness?
or just kindness?
It's not kindness.
You don't think so?
No, it's not kindness. Sincerely, it's not kindness. if it's kindness, you will be kind to yourself as well. So it's not kindness.
With certain luxuries.
Bro. Because you will know when you are already stretching yourself beyond the limit.
And you say no.
So there's a difference between being nice and being kind.
So it's a trauma response.
It's a trauma response. So you have to dig deep to find out what exactly is precipitating this.
That's actually then generational trauma because that's what your fathers and your uncles did.
Of course.
Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe not because
What we call sense of duty.
It existed in their generation. You hear parents say, "Nah, my papa trained all the brothers. Nah, he trained all the."
You're correct.
That existed
My
then.
father takes so much pride in it, and I'm like,
You understand? And it's one of the reasons why a lot of our parents did not hit their full potential. They carried too many
what
things.
Arasta's mom was saying, Arasta.
Exactly. They carried too many things, bro. You understand? Especially when you then, transmogrify that and you look at the life expectancy.
Of men especially.
My dad passed at 58.
Yeah, RIP to your dad. I remember that.
Passed at 58, I was 25. And immediately I assumed responsibilities of,
Things and people.
Yeah. Even though my mom was telling me at that point that, do your thing, no.
Is your mom Yoruba?
No, she's from Delta. My mom was
from Delta too.
Oh, real. That's the was cherry. My mom was telling me at that point in time, do your thing. Like, see.
No pressure.
But Amy now.
You'll be like
man of the house. Amy to Jack, bro, it is wild. The way things show Najai. Bobo what is sick. on the morning that they called me that my dad passed, right? It was on a Saturday. I got there. When she did it was at the hospital. He wasn't sick, nothing. He passed in his sleep. I got there. Legit, huh? I got there and I heard my mom. People don't day because my pop bro. So people don't day. It was at the hospital, right? They don't tell me where mom see day. I don't hear mom see voice. As I see mom see begin the hey, this is blah, blah, blah. I say okay, mama, I'm here now. And then I stepped out. One Egmont just came to meet me. As Egmont just came to me, just say, Toby, because now Toby, they call me for house. I was like, Toby,
Wait, who named you Toby?
My parents, huh? Nah, daddy Toby, mommy Toby, they call them now.
What the fuck, bro?
Legit, huh? How long? Toby, Lopa, Franklin, Nnamdi, Ikemefune. Legit. Anyways.
We are both not Yoruba.
No, they're not. But, they've been here.
Ibadan, okay.
They've been here, yeah. So, the guy just came to me and was like, Toby. What is shelling, Because seeing other versions.
Give me a second. Let's go on the break.
Oduduwa.
Oh, baby, man. Hi. Hi, guys. We're about to go on a break. Everything you missed in this conversation, which is about to get much better, you can catch on Monday. It comes out on all streaming platforms, wherever you get your podcast, including Audiomack and Boomplay. You can also get it on Spotify because whatever. This episode was still brought to you by Chivas, Regal and Pop Central TV, Channel 189. See you
Period.
soon.
Okay, so we are not actually going on the break.
I'm fired down, Lawana.
All right.
So he now said,
The Egmont just say, Toby, what is shelling
he
here?
was not begging for money.
Kò sí ọ̀tá fẹ́ ṣe sí o.
No,
Ó ti dọkùnrin nìyẹn o. And blah, blah. I say na so ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Next thing just say, so, owó mọ́ṣúárì 117,000. Aṣọ òkú, aṣọ white. Bí 12 yard ni. Ó ti yẹ, so ìyẹn bí 18,000. Then, ṣó fẹ́ kán sáré embam báyìí àbí ká ṣe ní sùúrù díẹ̀. Bro, I'd not seen my dad's body. I'd not seen it yet. Until Kabil, I had to tell my guy, say, Alpha, I bet me run money, and this thing, right? So, at that moment, I was deprived of
the ability to
soak in
the morning.
Immediately, responsibilities were thrusted to me, bro. Immediately, I assumed that office immediately. As I said, oh yeah, please, we are done at the hospital. Let whoever wants to mourn and do it, let's go home. So I put my mom in a vehicle, right? I made her go out. People don't go. I was the last to leave. The guy where they run the guy where they in charge of the mortuary was asking me, was like, you go like see
the body.
You like see the body?
Fuck. Now the guy they ask you.
He asked me, Baba, nobody cared whether I was. Say, when I came in, I had seen. So the door of the mortuary was open. Now big hospital, right? Yeah. So the mortuary day for the back. I had seen
his body
because the door was open. I see him on the stretcher. But I don't see him well, right? I quick come out my attention from now so I could do other things. They say, "Oh, make everybody bounce." Oh yeah, everybody, let's start going home. The guy can't come and say, he has been watching me since. I don't come since and all the day. But I never see. I just say I don't go like see. I say, okay, make I see. I didn't know what to do. You understand? I started walking towards the
body,
towards the mortuary. Rather than they are closing the mortuary, so they would open it for me to. I was getting closer to the door. I just say, I know this. Make I go. But and you know why I didn't see?
You didn't see him?
Because you didn't want to break down. You needed to focus.
I knew.
Game face,
that
bro.
If I see him,
all
face. These things that they are saying, oh yeah, Toby, we need to do this. I'm not going to answer anybody. But I knew that if I don't do him,
nobody will do it.
Brah.
Are you the firstborn?
So yeah, I'm the firstborn. So
bro, I don't.
I say as soon as I say nah, I know the same. So and then now 2019 now election. So we didn't bury him until 3 months after. That's when I saw on the day of burial. Now I see him.
Dolapo was the one that called me. I called Dolapo and said, "Yeah, it was."
Why is that when we have this conversation? I'm talking about responsibility, like how you have to step in to take charge of this and take charge of that. Why is that when you guys talk about it?
Yeah,
you guys always say life of a man.
Because it is.
So you don't think it's the life of a woman, so?
Let me answer that question with something.
Answer the question.
Some of my guys came to meet me, right? They came to, condolence visit now. Mm-hmm. One of my guys, AK, called me. His dad had just passed a month before my dad passed. Right? He just called me to one side and he said, Omo, I want Baba ló ń kú yìí o. Wait, Omo, anyone gonna lè fojú sunkún èmi o. Èmi ò kú for anybody o. It sounded like a joke at that point in time, but what he was telling me at that point in time was,
take care of yourself.
Mi ò ní gbẹ́rù ẹlẹ́rù sórí o. Nǹkan tó bá le jù ẹ̀mí mi lọ, mi ò ní ṣe o. I'm not going to sacrifice my longevity for anybody else's comfort. That was what he was telling me at that time, because he said, wo, Popsi mi ló lọ yẹn. Popsi ẹ̀ ti lọ yẹn. Tó bá wo around, tó bá wá realize, bàbá ló ń lọ. Ọmọ mi ò love anybody o.
Life expectancy of men.
Bro.
Yeah,
so actually, that one is true.
That literally answers the
why
the
is
question.
That melody?
Oh, definitely societal pressure.
Exactly.
Societal pressure. But
that's the point I was making.
Yeah, that's societal pressure. But I feel like we can have that conversation honestly, which is that women also have such pressure.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
The same pressure that men have with responsibility and finances, women have it too. But people just like to make it look like women don't, just because society does. Just because society likes to tell this lie that men are always the one financially responsible for things the most.
Okay, I have this question. Why does it reflect in the shortening of the lifespan of a certain demographic
and
more
it's not reflecting on the other
than
demographic?
the other? Is it that the other demographic can handle it better, or it's not just the same?
I do not think that it is a situation of same or not same. I think that also in society there's this thing where they are or be multitaskers or being one at the forefront, because the truth is, in the conversation where we have about men taking care of things financially, women take care of things financially and still add emotional labor.
Give me a second.
And still add.
Give me a second. I want to
come in.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We've had some very interesting conversation. Melody is about to push some agenda. Let's push it. This episode was brought to you by Chivas, Regal and
It's not agenda, and still add like emotional labor, still add like taking care of the home front and all of that. And I'm not saying, it would be very dishonest for me to say that the level of financial expectation on men is the
not
same.
Not even just financial, it's emotional.
Or the same, or financial or emotional responsibility.
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Emotional.
Do you think that, because from like what you have said, you have raised very valid points. Do you think that you have touched upon the very thing that affects the lifespan of men?
No, I haven't.
Exactly.
I haven't.
That's the thing. Because you are saying financial, emotional.
mental.
It's overlapping for men and women. They both handle that.
Yes.
What affects men
Jaguar.
that shortens their lifespan is something else entirely.
Nikini, what's the thing? Please, pretzel.
You see, as far as I'm concerned, from everything that I have seen,
Yeah.
right? From conversations that I've had with a lot of men, I realize that, look, bro, a larger percentile of men are pretenders. But either by conditioning or by expectations, they have been forced to assume that role.
100.
Every average man that you meet outside is pretending.
Do you agree with that?
Here's the reason. Because if men actually showcase the depth of
what
everything that they feel, society will crumble.
Fall. Yeah.
Society will fall.
Yeah.
Because look, if a man who is a plumber decided to get in touch with his feelings on a certain day and say, "Oh, I don't feel like," the entire street is going to smell like shit. You know why? Because that area of expertise
It's mostly male dominated.
is male dominated, right? He has to show up in spite of how he's feeling. I'm not saying women don't show up. No, that's not what I'm saying is there are things that are required of men that are integral to the structure of society, that it is male dominated and they must show up. Third mainland bridge, get wahala, and this they want reconstruct them. Who you see for there? No. I'm just trying to who you go see for there. Then they talk about road construction, bridge construction, a whole lot of menial jobs that require a lot of physical exertion, right? These are things that actually hold the society together. Law enforcement, a whole lot of these things, right, is male dominated. And all of them they're having to deal with shit, right? The problem now is that by virtue of the expectations that the society has of them, they cannot be in tune with their emotions. Feelings have to die. Responsibility must take precedence.
To family first and then society.
And then to society. Responsibility must take precedence. And once responsibility takes precedence, you realize that at that point in time, death has started. Death has started. Because one way or the other, that thing that you are not catering to will make demands of you at some point. And when it makes demands of you, as a man, usually you don't have the answer.
Let me add to what you're saying. So I think women also have like their own roles to play in society. Some people are going to say, how about like the nursing profession that is female dominated?
Yes.
I'm going to hear that point, right? But I don't know the ratio, but when you stack it up in terms of like essential, what you might deem to be essential roles, you might find places where a lot of men have to show up, right? I think a lot of it has to do with conditioning.
Yes, no. Not conditioning.
I think a lot of it has to do with conditioning. Like, as a child, it's not even the situation of shut up. It's the situation of you don't need to express emotions. You just need to let things go. I'm the only guy in between two girls, right? And as a child, I would be in situations where my older sister is 2 years older than I am. My younger sister is about 3 years younger than I am. And they will do some really fucked up shit. Like, really fucked up shit. And you'll be getting the point of that concept of okunrin, or quote and unquote, olomokunrin. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Omokunrin.
Yeah.
Like, it comes with a lot of meaning.
Bruh.
You have been conditioned since you were born. I'm not saying women are not conditioned. They are conditioned for something else as well.
Yes, totally different.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Right? But with men, it's
And that's
like
also
the concept
fucked up
of...
as well.
That's also very fucked up.
Fucked
because there's not a lot of freedom, sense of self,
You
all
get
of
me?
those things. Right? So...
And when they speak up, it's termed as rebellion.
Yep.
Society even judges them for it.
Exactly.
The men that enjoy those things still judge them for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So... I think that part of conditioning where it's almost like if you're not responsible, the concept of responsibility is you taking care of things.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And if you're not
doing
taking
shit.
care of, you are not a good enough man. Like a man that is a rolling stone, for example, aside from the fact that he's a rolling stone, even if he's taking care, even if the fact that he doesn't have money, will be judged for that first before the fact that he's a rolling stone.
Absolutely.
So a lot of things, society, like from our nuclear families, they put it in you of what it means to be a man.
Yes.
And I don't fault some people for buckling under the pressure, but a lot of those things also shape people. It's generational trauma, bro.
Yes.
That shit is generational trauma. Like, there's no way to put it. It is fucking generational trauma that a lot of people struggle to escape. A lot of people never escape it. Like, our fathers, like, they'll take pride in... Like, I was talking to my babe some time ago, and I was telling her that I felt guilty because I was angry about the fact that people, like, a lot of people were asking things of me, right? They wanted me to give them things, and I was complaining that what the fuck? Can everybody just let me breathe, right? But I just thought to myself, like, now this is the part of the trauma, I think, but it's also a part of that gives a lot of men perspective. Am I absconding my responsibilities? Because when the first son of my paternal grandmother built an edifice in our hometown when he was 24 years old because he hated the fact that his mother was being punished in his father's house. Like, she was the first wife and they were not taking care of her. So he went and struggled. He went to school. He was reading with brain fatigue, but he kept on pushing because of his mother and his siblings. Because he knew that their father was not going to take care of his boy because he had other wives that he was more interested in. So he had to fucking struggle.
Yep.
And when he became like a teacher, he went to Sierra Leone. When he didn't get an opportunity in Nigeria to Sierra Leone to study, like when he now came at 24 years old, brother, the house is still an edifice still now. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So you can understand that mentality. Like, this guy was having brain fatigue. His brain wasn't carrying that shit. He wanted to study law. He wasn't working. But he just needed to make sure he became a teacher. So what I'm saying in essence is, this thing is driven into you. Yeah. And then from then on, you start to see things differently. Oh, if there's no money, you have to go one way or the other. Yep. You have to go and do this. Some people want to go into crime. Some people feel like they are less human beings because their sister's husband is richer than them. Like, it's just a lot of things. And then the pressure and the insecurities that bring to men who feel lesser than is what I really, really don't like about it.
Bruh, every single thing in society now points to the fact that if you are economically incapacitated, you are in trouble.
Yep. But I think that's general.
All of these shows, all of these game shows, looking for spouses and all of that shit.
Yeah.
Ask anybody on the street, what do you look for in a man? Financially independent?
100%.
And you understand?
100.
Financially independent. You get me? Financially, be well to do. When they start asking for figures, okay, like what figures are we talking about? When they start calling the figures, I start wondering, in this same like, are you in touch with reality? Do you know what's going on? Like,
what kind of money?
Oh, when people say, like, at least he must have like 40 million, 50 million in his account, and I'm like, cash
or investment?
I don't know, cash or investment. I don't even high net worth individuals that I interface with. They'll tell you, oh, mom, you need to have 600,000. No, legit. Because as soon as
assets,
people who have the intention of perpetuating wealth don't walk around with liquid. They don't have cash. They don't. As soon as they enter, they build systems. So automated, they go inside investment straight. They don't work. If you see people with liquid, you open their account, you see like 20 something like that. Watch. Bro, most likely, one, either they are financially daft.
Or they're
right?
Yahoo.
They're all now, you get me? But if it's for people who are playing the long game, interested in compound interest, they know they get cash. They know they get cash. Huh? So I always wonder, like, who have you people been interfacing with that have for something million inside their account? Well, if it's not politicians and it's not OTA, then what's going on? So when you look at all of these things and you see boy, OTA, tó ram push tó ń gba bí 350 ìyá máa wọ pé ọmọ 2 years salary gan ọmọ kò gbé ogbó eléyìí owó náà ti lọ sókè eléyìí ti lọ sókè bro these are things that can conveniently keep you up at night, you understand? Wait, make I even tell you something. May we throw finance away. Let's leave owó kò matter. Let's even talk inside relationship. Melody èmi àti àjọ ń date, right? Àjọ wà kò yẹ. You am sọ fún mi pé ọmọ pé I need a man that can take initiative, that can lead.
Yes.
Sori yẹn gan baba ńlá pressure. You don't know.
Facts.
You don't know. Sori yẹn gan baba ńlá pressure.
So fair lead.
No, it's not that. It's a thing of sori ọpọlọ ẹ ó ti fry. Jẹ́ ká fo kí ló fẹ́ kí n ṣe sọ fún mi màá ṣe bet pé kí n lọ take initiative yẹn àmì ìlágbára ẹ̀.
No way.
Oh yeah, no, sincerely. And they say, oh, if he wants to, he would. But àwọn fídíò tó máa fi ń ṣe reference ìlú òyìnbó náà wà kò yẹ ibi báyìí lásán wọ́n ti forí calculate àwọn èèyàn tó máa brother wọ́n ti o ti forí jágbó lọ ó ti yẹ ó ti rẹ̀ ẹ́. And it's not physically, mentally you were exhausted. Yeah. You can't say, take initiative. Okay, what do you want? I don't know. You take the initiative, you take the lead. And here's the crazy thing now. She wants something simple.
Yeah.
You know? But because, again, the conditioning, your understanding of it is that you must do something grandiose. Something that, you know, do you know? Let me tell you one secret, Melody. Do you understand that we men, generally speaking, we don't really understand the concept of thoughtfulness? I'm telling you, no sincerity. I've done my findings. I've asked guys. We don't really understand the the concept of like thoughtful. It's not in the enormity or the size of the gift. It's in
men have to learn it.
It's in the thought. A lot
you
of
learn
men
it.
do not know it.
No, you have to learn it.
And it's not a thing of course, it's a thing of.
I think it's just a thing of laziness.
Oh no! I'm not excusing that.
So lazy.
I'm not excusing that. What I'm telling you now is the disparity between the way men process things and the way women process things.
And also because of society has allowed it and giving this agenda has been pushed that. As a man, if you can just throw money here,
exactly,
throw money there.
That's what most men would.
The girl is been making this money, so what are you bringing to the table? Because now the commissioner is now, what are you yourself bringing to the table? Yes, what are you bringing to the table?
So most men, and it's something that I have recently been understanding, you know, on a larger scale and trying to implement in my own relationship, you know, bruh. If you as a man are not in tune with your emotions, you cannot know how to be there emotional and provide emotional security for your woman. And if you cannot do that, bagbe money.
Shout out to the women that are patient
100.
with us.
Yeah, sincerely.
Shout out to my babe on this occasion. Like, I'm learning a lot. And it takes a lot of humility to learn it.
Brother, introspection requires humility.
It takes a lot of humility. And the truth is, there's also like a process.
Yeah.
A lot of men, you are programmed to say, if you can job, provide. But the sad reality of this current era that we are in is the fact that a man can throw money around is not enough anymore.
No, absolutely not.
The fact that a woman is fine and she can do whatever and she can have sex is not enough anymore.
Absolutely.
Everybody else must bring something to the table.
Yeah.
With men, there's now more expectation of like emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. Bro, that shit is hard. It is hard to learn what you've known. It's hard to learn some of these things.
Yeah, you are basically dislodging age-long ideologies. It's like you are, bro. You are
draining your blood,
bro. Literally,
that's what it feels like,
that
right?
So
and
difficult.
like you are changing your DNA. That's what it feels like. And then with the other side of the conversation with women, now a lot more women are having to come to the table with an understanding of I need to go get mine.
Yep.
Right? It's been happening for a while, but this generation is the level is increased. I'm not saying there's still a lot of women that want to that don't. I'm not saying there are no women that want to still live on men or whatever, but the demands are changing. Even with men, it's not just a woman thing.
Yep.
Even with men, like men now have higher standards.
Absolutely,
higher standards, right? Their levels are higher. All these things are changing, and I feel like on top of all these things, we still have to learn to find love.
Bro, it's integral.
You understand?
You can't even
do life alone.
I've realized it. Won't be that.
You can't
This
do life
life,
alone.
this
The
economy,
older you get,
this dispensation
you
won't be
you
that.
can't do it.
I just feel like, I genuinely feel like people should do what works for them, because the idea, I've also learned that the idea of companionship differs with
By
person.
individual.
Oh yeah.
For people, there are a lot of people that companionship is not romantic. Companionship is friendship. Companionship is family. I've met a good number of people who do not aspire to romantic relationships.
Oh yeah.
There are people that are like, oh no, I don't. It's not my thing. Like, I have great friends, I have great family members, and I'm okay with that.
Don't you think that's probably a trauma response of some kind?
Not necessarily. I don't know. I can't speak. I'm not going to therapize them.
But
I'm not a
here's
therapist,
the
but I just
challenge.
feel like companionship is just different for people.
But here's the challenge with that.
And I also feel like the older you get, the more the things that you want change. Like,
You evolve as a person.
you evolve as a person, and the things, there are so many things that used to matter to me last year that I do not absolutely give a fuck about anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm not, and I feel like maybe next year I might be in a different headspace, but now I just don't.
This is where you are. That thing that you talked about, when you're talking about, for some people, companionship might just be in friendship and all of that. That's great, but there's a different perspective to it. Different perspective being that it had better be that the perspective towards companionship goes both ways.
Yes.
Because if they see companionship as, something
I agree.
romantic,
Platonic.
and those ones come and like their partners come and drag them away, you will feel alone. No?
I agree.
And you cannot place demands
You can't.
on them because they have their lives to live.
I agree.
That's what's happening to a lot of.
I agree.
I feel like it's happening to a lot of female friendships these days.
A lot because
I agree.
Every day I see tweets about like women coming to Twitter and saying, "Oh, your relationship shouldn't matter when you have a friendship." All of that. Yeah, I see a lot of those things on Twitter. Really. Am I the only one that sees them?
no, I do as well.
Like your relationship, still maintain your friendships while
I
you're in
agree.
a relationship. All of those
I
things.
agree.
I see all of those tweets. But what everybody needs to be honest about is, yes, you do need your friends.
Yes.
But your relationship tends to take a lot of precedence in a lot of ways
Yes.
that you don't intend. It just happens.
Yes.
Because
It just happens.
Because it places a demand
Yeah.
on dimensions of you that friendships cannot even
That
touch.
cannot feel.
I agree.
Do you understand? Connections that friendships cannot feel.
And I genuinely think that is very problematic.
in relationships,
Extremely problematic.
It's human design.
it's human nature.
No,
human design.
I know. I think it's just society. I feel like it's
Really?
I agree. I feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like the older we get, I don't know. I feel like over time, there's just certain things that even me as a person, I'm growing into learning. You would unlearn a lot of things. It's even like
It's a process.
It's like motherhood. It's like having children. It's like those things. There's so many things that people do because they've been told they're supposed to do it. I 100% think you should build and put in. As someone who is even struggling with time and people generally now, you should put in as much energy you put into your relationship
Can I
as your
respond to
friendship.
this?
Because
I don't disagree with you. I think it's a
romantic
conscious-
relationships are very, very. Put energy to your
I like your perspective.
Can I say something? Can I just speak on this, please? I feel like I agree. You need to put effort in your friendship.
Oh, yeah,
Extremely.
It's very important. Just because there are also a lot of things that your relationship can't give you.
So many.
It's just the truth, right? And a lot of people find that out.
Wàá ṣeré, ó tún mú ẹ. I love it. Ìwọ bá wo lè escape ẹ.
Kíni?
Find out how. Ẹ bá edit.
Find out how they don't put it. Find
A
out
lot
how.
of people find that out in the
As
most
time goes.
uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
Because it hits them in the face that they've actually been inside this relationship. And that's why a lot of people struggle with like things like divorce.
Yeah.
And not even things like divorce, just things like maybe their partner is not around and they don't have a life, all of those things. So when like it's a lot, even it's not even just with partners, sometimes with children.
Yes.
Like some people get so absorbed in the life of being a parent that the parents leave the nest and the children leave the nest and they don't know what to do.
People are literally
No.
saying they want to have children because they don't want to be alone. What does
So
that mean?
I really
Yeah, they have their priorities. And that's the thing again.
sorry, please let me
Yeah.
complete this thing.
Well,
So I
actually,
feel
say-
like I don't think it's an intentional thing, Melody. I don't think people choose. No, I don't think people choose to be absorbed in their relationship.
And I don't even think it's conditioning.
I don't think it's conditioning.
There's a demand.
It's just a natural
within you.
human thing, and it's not something that you are learning from somewhere. You are not learning.
You are not learning it.
Just
It's just a demand from within you, and you can't actually tell until you get into it. You know why? Because it's not a one-day thing. It's very subtle.
Yep.
You see, whenever you get into a relationship wherein, I want this relationship to work. You see, it's like every other thing.
Yep.
If you focus on, say, this career must work, a lot of things will suffer for it.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the same thing it is with relationship.
Yeah.
You focus on a relationship and you're like, this relationship must work.
Yeah.
Right? And especially when the effort is reciprocated by the partner. You feed off each other's energy. Everything pales in comparison. It's just
especially
human
because
design.
that friendship that you're looking for is also
embedded in this. You get
so
me?
you don't feel naturally.
You don't feel like you're missing
just
out.
gravitate towards and you put more in it. It's not like you hate your friends all of a sudden, or you think that you still think you are giving them attention.
Oh yeah.
But in reality, you are not.
You are not, because even the friendship, you are seeing it inside here.
It.
You understand? So it's like,
because now you are depending on this person way more than you dependent on your friends. There's way more trust inside.
It's
like
it's normal
just,
to depend more on them.
Exactly.
So your emotions, once your emotions, the bulk of your emotions are gravitating towards there. Ibeni.
I agree.
That's your investment. You would expect ROI.
Of course.
And if you are expecting ROI, now where your attention go there, and you see energy goes where attention goes.
I agree.
Right? So if your energy goes there, how much energy do you really have to dissipate and spread around?
It's not too much.
It's actually not too much. So I agree 100%. But I'm responding to that part where, like, apparently making mention of the fact that people are always tweeting that your friendship should not suffer because you're in a relationship. Facts.
No, I wasn't disagreeing.
No, okay. I'm just like, fact, because it's even too much to put in one place. And life is so... And I've also realized that generally, like, human beings are just human beings. Even in friendship, you as a person, your own sense of self should be strong. Your own sense of self. Because I have also read that even in friendships that you depend on people for certain things, and you sit back down and be like, nah, why? It's like, why? You as a person should also even know you should also have a large sense of self where you be like, nah, this is not what I want to do for myself, or this is not where I want to be, or this is not what I want to be. You just put in so much energy sometimes. If you've seen real friendships that are like mutually beneficial, friendships have saved my life. Literally, the first time that I heard about therapy was from a friend. Do you understand? Like, it was from a friend. Like, Melody, have you? I'm like,
Have you considered therapy?
I'm like, Shaman Shekini. Is this a reach? She's like, me, I went to. It's good though. And I'm like, I beg for what? She's like, no, you. She literally like, you will go. Do you understand? At different points in my life, like I've met friends that be like, nah, there's community in it so much that we as human beings need to just learn the importance of that communal relationship. Because now, when I hear why people want to do certain things, I'm just like, why? Do you know that I've had conversations with people this week, about 5 people. Why do you want to have a child? Nobody has told me anything. Do you understand? It's like, I don't want to be alone. What will I say in my house? I'm supposed. I'm like, so
Melody,
why
you know
you
one
want to
thing.
have a kid?
You know one thing that I've
Full
realized.
life?
One thing that I've realized is.
And I've been consuming a lot of content on social media from parents that have gone on to be like, why did I do this?
Also, that's something that you need to be very wary of.
Maybe actually,
Very wary of.
because I'm just like
that, like
a
social
lot
media.
of them.
Because you will only pick so many times if your attention is
on that.
You
seeing
will
it
most
everywhere.
likely pick things that
a negative
you
of a negative
are
connotation.
sentimental towards, things that echo
Your inside
standpoint.
voice.
But that may not be the absolute truth. That may just be a certain perspective. And that's one of the downsides of everybody having platform. Because for every situation that you are going through, whether you are the hero or villain, there's a quote that validates your feeling.
Yep.
Right? Everybody a philosopher now.
Bro.
There's one thing that I've realized. Sorry, before you
please,
say what you gotta say. There's something I've realized. Through the course of my introspection and like having to like really learn, I've realized something. Very few human beings know how to actually multitask.
100.
And I realized that I am
People who think that they know how to multitask is a lie. You know why, bro? multitasking in essence, or like in practicality, what it means is you being able to give the same energy that you are giving across board. How many people can boast of that?
It's not possible.
Do you understand? So for the mere fact that most human beings can't do that, the moment your attention, the bulk of your attention goes towards something, other things will suffer.
Yeah.
Yes. 100.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's the same conversation with that relationship thing that we're talking about. And it's just, there's a reason why the ones that are really successful tend to just be it for each other over a period of time. And then at some point, they learn to, because if you are about each other too much, you are going to create problems for yourself down the line. So a lot of people then learn to, okay, I need to feed into other things. I need to pour into other things.
Career.
It doesn't mean that your relation. No, it's not even career. Just other friendships,
Other
your
friendships,
siblings, your parents, whatever. Because intimate relationships can be like drugs. They can be very addictive.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Especially if it's good. Everything you want is there.
Yeah.
Like you don't, even some things that you touch that you have wanted all along that you never had, maybe in your parental relationships, in your sibling relationship, they are there. Let's say you are a firstborn, you are an only son or a firstborn son or a firstborn daughter. You can find an escape in someone that you can depend on. Now the person becomes like everything you want.
The moment
right
crack,
and like it's so. I think God was onto something when He created the concept of relationships and marriage.
Yep.
And I think another thing that I noticed in my adulthood is I wasn't exactly a relationship person in my younger years. And the older I got, even though the more I had access, the lonelier I felt. Genuinely. The lonelier I felt. Like I had access to women. I'm not saying I was Casanova or anything, but I could have the women that I wanted, right? But the lonelier I felt, it just didn't. And so that was why I started to reflect. Is the concept of marriage really a societal construct? Or is it the result of people that got to the age that I got to and realized that they were lonely and they needed to share life with somebody?
it has to be shared.
Yeah.
But is that what you just described now is not marriage? What you just
No.
Like, what you just described now is companionship.
Companionship.
Well,
yeah.
that's the bulk of marriage.
But
that's the bulk of marriage.
The difference between companionship and marriage is that you have a paper to show for it.
That's it.
That's the only difference.
But
essentially, the root of it, 90%
It's
of companionship,
companionship.
and about 99% of it
Of marriage
is that companionship.
It's companionship. Somebody to just share life with. Because
You
it
can
goes both
literally
ways.
do the same thing without the paper.
Because it goes. So here's the thing. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Say there are things that you have focused on outside and this and blah 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 blah. You still need to make sense of it with someone who is exclusively your person.
Yep.
The
Yes.
problem with all of these things and anti-marriage and all of that is that if you are saying that you want to substitute and place a friend in that role,
It's not going to happen.
They are not exclusively
No,
yours.
to you.
They have a life outside of you, right? And you have to.
And then the emotional, the chemicals and the hormones in their body are not going to be triggered
They are not
in
going
a way
to in a way that
a
you would
romantic
want.
relationship can.
I
So,
agree.
but if you then share your goals, apologies, Motinwa passionate. So you so if you then share, if you have things that you need to share with your partner, right? Or like share with somebody who is exclusively your person, the nature of the conversation hits different, because I promise you, psychologically, the thought that this person is exclusively
Yours,
mine,
monogamy.
and the person gives you a nod and says you're on the right track, and it hits
Different like crack.
different,
Yeah.
other than a friend telling you, because sincerely speaking, your friend is expected to tell you that, right? So, like, ideally, they're expected to be, your
Right,
cheerleaders.
it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's
But
not the
say
same.
this person
You can't compare it.
is mine. Look, is mine, and in the
The things you are going
crevices
to
of
share
my
with
home.
that person, you are not going to share with a friend.
Facts. And
just not
the
I don't
worst
agree with that, but-
and the worst thing about it,
Not
is
sometimes,
there are some conversations that is only after being intimate. That
Talking
there will
about
be,
sexual.
No. I'm
it
saying
plays
something.
a
Not
role.
just sex now. I'm saying
it plays
even
a
the
role.
emotions behind
The intimacy.
because it's not just sex.
It's
The-
emotional
the-
intimacy.
Emotional intimacy.
It's a lot of intimacy.
You will not
I
even
agree.
know that conversation was in the books
Yeah.
until that need has been met.
Yeah.
Once that need has been met, you then realize that you want to
share
have this
something.
conversation with this person, but that conversation cannot come around if you are just having a good time with friends. And all
Yeah.
it can't, and you see, the crazy thing about it is that for as long as that need has not been met, your biology will continue to
To
demand for
issue.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why you just realize that you are doing a lot of things, but there is this
There's a
Vacuum.
space.
there's this
Yeah.
space that you are not feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you might not know it,
Exactly.
but you are just going to know
you
that.
will feel that there's something missing.
I agree 100%. I don't even think. I think the argument of substituting friendship for marriage is absolutely ridiculous because they are not the same.
Some people
The
think they can.
conversation is nurture this as if that's what
And
you
water
want.
that.
Yeah.
Nurture that.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nurture this, nurture that.
One
It
doesn't
should-
have to
one
suffer
doesn't have
for
to.
the
the other.
But guess what? Even in the conversation of if you're in a relationship, sometimes other things, something is prioritizing something. There are even times when the relationship is the one that is suffering,
Oh yeah.
and other things are
There's
taking
that
place.
as well.
And other things are the ones taking place.
Because of friendships or work.
Generally, just life, like, and
don't-
not suffering in a way not suffering in a way that is bad. It's just like it's not just the.
It's not taking the priority.
Like
That's why divorces happen.
No. You people are happy, you people are good, but one of the best things I heard last week is that butterflies go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Well, I think no. So
It's
I
not going
think.
to be flying every day.
Oh, so I think that's taking a surface look at, like companionship
romance
or
is.
all that. It's not always going to be
Butterflies.
roses and butterflies, and it's not always going to be that. There are times when you guys are just roommates.
Yep.
And you guys are just friends.
And there are times when you are having this friendship of your life, that this is your friend, people are having so much fun, people
Yeah.
are hanging, people are doing. It's just life. Things are just happening. It don't mean that one is suffering.
I also think that a lot of people do too much these days to discredit the concept of relationships.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think
There's
a
like
lot
a
of people-
subtle
There's a
campaign
hustle.
going
People are
on.
hustling, and I think it's just because, again, people have platforms.
Oh, bro, everybody
Do
has.
you understand?
Everybody has
A
platform.
person that has not been happy in a lot of relationships, what do you expect them to say?
Yep.
They are probably going to lose faith at some point. And maybe the one thing that has remained constant in their lives is their friendships.
Yeah.
What do you expect them to say?
Sure.
Do you understand? It's not their fault, right? So we are seeing a lot of people who are having trauma responses, people who have a lot of discrepancies, people who want something that don't have it. Some people that generally also don't want it, right? Who we are platforming. We're platforming all of them at the same time, and we're getting all this coalition of opinions.
Exactly,
And it
man.
feels like a cacophony of sounds,
Yep.
essentially. Yeah, it does. That's what it is. It's a cacophony of sounds. Everybody's talking at the same time, and it's too much noise. It's at times it feels like everybody's shouting at me on Twitter. Like, can you shut the fuck up?
I actually feel like a lot
The
of times
best
people are
advice that
yelling,
I've
like, please,
gotten
people should shut up.
recently is someone saying I should get off Twitter. Bro,
Like,
it's
please.
been peaceful.
The
I'm
noise
not
is so
It's been
much.
peaceful for me, cause the more
so
that because
empty.
I don't understand the. Anyways, for me, one of the things that I've been in one of the videos I posted on IG that went viral, I was talking about the fact that one of the things that I'm learning recently and that I love that I'm learning is to not be so attached to my opinions, right? Understanding that, look, I don't have all the facts.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how right I think I am concerned,
Yeah.
I don't have all the facts. And as long as I don't have all the facts, my opinion is not absolute.
Yep.
It can change
And even if you
in
have
the
all the facts,
presence.
sometimes you just need to move away.
You get me? So when I look at that and I look at the nature of conversations that happen on Twitter, I realize that number one, thankfully, I don't even engage. Like right from time, I know they engage in all those kind of conversations. Then now, even with this renewed perspective, right?
like, what?
I know that it's never gonna happen. I will never trade words about
You know why?
something.
You know why?
Yeah.
Everybody on Twitter is performing. All of us.
Oh, of course now.
Yes.
Now showmanship now. When you're in
All-
person now, I know they see the same
All
energy
of
now.
us. Now, not excluding me.
I know they see the same energy now.
Every single
Or Joti
person.
Wati, Yum Yum. The makeup. First of all, you did not give me credit. You are a fool. You did not give me
Fuck off.
credit. I was the one responsible for them making. So in the words of Mike Tyson, I said, "Oh yeah,
at the rival's office."
I say now, Keith.
Nah,
Now, Keith.
at the rival's office.
No, but I think that I think that
Oh yeah, at the rival's office or Ashiri.
I disagree with the concept of. I disagree with the opinion that there is a lot of anti-relationship campaign. I don't think that is the truth. I think that for the longest, especially for women, the conversation around find yourself and know yourself is so important because women have been taught over time that to aspire to marriage, to aspire to, to living a life where it feels like, oh, this is your world, this is what you're supposed to do at this point in time. So now, I think there's now a larger conversation for like, you also need to find yourself. You also need to know yourself, and all of these things should not be. It's not an either or. You know, I feel like you can do this and do this. You know, you can be your own person, be your own self, and still find the love of your life.
Oh yeah.
Or you can also decide that, you know what, I don't want to do this.
You don't want to be in love with anybody.
Exactly. I just want to focus on my shit.
Oh, it's like I also want to find the love of my life, and I don't want to have kids. And I think that the way people come into those conversations, like, why are you trying to destroy the women? Why are you trying to tell them what is wrong? It's like, why are you so bothered about the fact that women are being taught that you need to have, it's okay to have options, it's okay to know yourself? The importance of having the knowledge and making decisions based on the fact that I chose this for myself is different from when you are doing something because you are told that's what you're supposed to do.
Can I respond to that? So I think you're right in the sense of, especially as relates to women, right? To the concept of women are taught and nurtured. We were mentioning the other time about like how people are conditioned and engineered, the society, upbringing, nuclear family, all of these things. But you also remember the time we were talking about like the concept of extremism. And talking about how extremism is the result of the human condition and the human flaws, human nature. Now, as much as it might have started as that, it's becoming something else.
I don't agree.
That's fair. That's okay. Do you understand? As much as it might have started as people, I think a lot of the things that have become problems for humanity generally started as people questioning things.
Yeah.
Like Islamic terrorism started off in the Middle East, started off people generally being tired of American exploitation. Yeah. Genuinely. Right? And I think that's the biggest problem that humanity faces right now in terms of survival of the human race. No, aside from like diseases and whatever, right? So a lot of things usually start with good intention. Then when you mix it with like the human condition, you then get a lot of extremes. And you then see a lot of people that are expressing, which is why you see a lot of people walking back. They can't stand on their emotion, on what they say. Like I saw someone. I asked you to see it. I was hearing of something like last month of someone that was a champion of something that Melody was talking about. I don't want to mention names. And so they got married, right? Which is not a problem. Do you understand? They got married. And
I don't know this person.
No, you don't know this person.
Okay.
They got married, and I think this was a couple years ago. They got married, and because of that, they deactivated their Twitter and left Twitter.
Yeah. In fact, they posted it on Facebook, not on Twitter.
I don't even know.
I'm familiar.
So, like, they deactivated.
A man,
no,
a woman.
Yeah. They deactivated and left. And what I got from that was, you've been a champion for this thing so long that you didn't believe it.
What was she championing? People should not get married.
I don't think that was it. It was more like, I think it started off again as like a sense of self-finding yourself thing. That
it
now
then degenerated
into something else because this person was probably not happy and they felt like they wanted something that they were not getting, but they also didn't realize it. Like human emotion is very complex.
It will cloud your judgment. Right?
You would think that's what you are thinking, but that's actually not what you're thinking. So when they now found bone of their bone, I think their tone started to change.
Yes.
Right? And people were now
asking questions.
and you know extreme men as well, conservative men.
Exactly, like you were to bed.
You were. They say, no be you they. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They will come and
Either
knock you.
or.
So, but that's again, it's not a problem of either or.
Personal
It's
bias
It's a
creeps in.
human nature problem.
People are
Of-
attached to their opinions.
Yeah.
General people are.
It just snowballs.
Yeah.
It snowballs.
Exactly. So people begin to see themselves in their arguments.
Yep.
They begin to see themselves in their
And
opinions.
they start
That's
arguing
the
not
thing.
to lose.
Exactly.
Like that's one of the reasons why like people used to like she used to question me about the fact that I used to respond to certain people on social media. My babe used to say, why are you responding to people on social media? But the thing I realized it before then, but I had to remind myself is the reason why I was going at them was I had a how dare you mentality.
Yep.
How dare you? Are you mad?
Who you be?
Why am I talking and you are like,
Yep.
are you fucking crazy?
Yep.
But I then had to realize that, are you mad? You have nothing to prove.
Exactly.
Do you understand? This is an insecurity on your part.
Sure. And
This is
that's
a
something
need.
that you
This is
must deal with.
that you must deal with.
Yep.
That you must control
Yeah.
and say, I don't need to contribute to this charade.
Yeah.
So you need to then go into the situation with
yourself.
another mentality.
Yeah.
Right?
And the crazy thing is, and the best part of it is,
Yeah.
if you don't, because that's something I had to deal with as
Yeah,
well. Like
yeah.
mine from the jump is I didn't even. So when people say stuff, especially when I'm putting out some, you hear comments like, "Is it just me?" Or I'm like, "But-"
And to be bothering you.
so I'm like, you don't have to say that. Like, if you know, like I'm just banned, why do you have to say? So I'll be thinking about like, is this person mad? Like,
that
you
might be the
understand?
one comment that you will not be fixed.
I'll fixate upon that. I'm like, bro, you have a problem. Oh. So let's extrapolate this situation and look at it from a real life perspective.
Yeah.
99 people are walking up to me and telling me, this is great, this is great, this is great.
Yeah.
One person come and say, me, I know feel am. I now leave the 99 people.
And focus on that.
I'm focused on this one, but bro, isn't that madness?
That's Nigerian artists.
So I literally just.
But that's the human condition. It's not even a Nigerian
it's
artist's
a
problem.
human
It's a
condition.
human condition thing.
Because we are born with negative bias.
Yeah.
That negative bias.
You will focus on
you will
it.
fixate on it.
That's it.
You will.
That's
it will
it.
bother you more because you start looking at it like
And that's another thing I have to remind myself of sorry, Veda. Like,
Yeah.
the person that has an opinion that I'm having how dare you, there are dozens of other people that I'm meeting and they want to take pictures with me.
Bruh.
Why are you not focusing on
on
that?
that. You get me?
Like,
There are some things. I was having a conversation with my mentor and he was telling me, look, there are a lot of things that you cannot change.
you can't control it.
But what you can do is amplify other things to silence this.
Yeah.
So if I amplify what's going on well for me, it will definitely drown the negative comments and all of that. And like once it drowns that, this becomes where I fixate and focus my energy on. And I'll continue to feel good. And then also, there's also something that I had to come to terms with. Having these kinds of comments is testament to growth.
100%.
If you do not have people who are, if you don't have the
If
detractors,
nobody
you are not doing
talk about
anything
you,
about your life. You are not.
then
You are not doing anything.
nobody.
It's not that they like you or nothing. You are not. You are not
They're
dead.
just not significant to the
You are not dead
conversation.
to do anything, right? So when I see them and they say things that I'm like, now, yes,
You are making it.
yes, we outside.
Yeah, you're making it. And the first time I realized it in my life was my first article that blew up. It was on the MI and Vector situation.
Yeah.
I don't know article about it in 2019. The article was great. Like, everybody was loving it. But you had some people that are saying, oh, well, how about this? Oh, this line. Do you understand? Like, and the good thing that I had in my life at the time, that I've always had, that were people that were in my corner that were telling me, that knew what was going to happen, that had gone through it before I did. Like Osags, AOT2, Steve Dede, that guy, this is going to come, and this is how you need to navigate it. I think it was even after I left media that I started having that how dare you situation, because I think my ego had matured. Like, do you know are you mad?
Exactly, man.
You understand? Like, while I was in media, I was so ruthless that I would write something, people will be going off about it, everybody on Twitter will be going mad, and I'll be tweeting about football. Like, I had mastered that shit. Like, I wasn't responding to nobody, right? But after I left media was when I now start trying to engage with people, and I realized that, no, it's the human, that's the humanity in you. If you don't control this, it's going to control you.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Trump got shot.
Brother.
Well,
Trump is the next president of America.
Oh no, that's evident. I'm hearing Biden is going to step down.
Yeah, I heard that today.
I'm hearing he's going to step down.
I heard that
Well,
too.
I announced who?
oh,
It was
so he's
on
gonna
some.
be.
like-
He's not nominating anybody.
He's not
I think it's
nominating
gonna
anybody,
be, You know, the Democratic
Do
Party.
you think
is
it's too
gonna-
late?
It's too late, though.
You should have done that. Do you think if like a different person was the opposition for Trump up till now, do you think the person would have stood a better chance than Biden?
Bro, it still depends. Trump is a force
It depends
of
on
nature.
the person. It depends
Trump
largely
is a
on the
force
person.
of nature.
Trump
See,
I think it's a Trump thing.
Trump
No, I'm
is
saying
a
that it
force
depends
of
on the
nature.
person who's going to go head to head.
Yeah,
with Trump.
exactly.
That's what I mean.
No, I actually don't think so. I think it depends on what Trump does. Trump is a force of
He's
nature.
a force of nature. That guy is formidable. Oh. And for some strange reason,
I don't understand it, though.
because he
Trump?
because there seems to be a recurrent and consistent plot against him, and he always manages to come out of it, makes it seem like he's destined for it, and people love a fairy tale.
Bro, I'm just like,
I think the major part is
do you guys not like this guy, or do you know guys not like this guy? 'Cause
So,
what is all of
there is
this?
a thing across the world of the world generally going back to like conservative politics.
Yep.
Yes,
It's been happening for a
Yep.
long time.
he plays into
Like-
it so badly.
I think the
Marine Le Pen,
the radical left have had their run.
they've had their run. We don't want to.
I think they've had their run.
They've had their run, and people are tired of the fuckery and hypocrisy.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? So Marine Le Pen had a chance until the final lap in France. The the prime minister of Italy right now is a rightist.
Yep.
That doesn't like gay marriage allegedly. That doesn't want gay people to adopt children. Rather, it's not like she doesn't like gay marriage.
Okay.
But like she is a fucking rightist to the core.
and she no
Right? There's a wave of conservative politics sweeping across Europe right now, and I don't think in the UK that's what they had recently in the
Yeah,
elections.
even the Labour is
yeah.
still to a large extent,
conservative.
Do you understand? So and then in America for a long time, I think Trump saw an opportunity.
Yep.
Because there was a time that Trump was contributing to the Democrats, not the Republicans.
Oh yeah, sure.
In terms of the election and funding presidential elections. But I think he wanted to be president and he saw a unique opportunity. America is like 13% black people, like 14% thereabout, between 13 and 16, I'm not sure. And the Hispanic community, the white community is over 60%. So it means that there's a lot of white people, a lot of which are not liberal. They are conservative. They believe in like, this is the greatest country in the history of the world. All these black people and everybody should not be in this country, including the racist and people that have a lot of conservative and jingoist views. So he saw that opportunity and he came into it, right?
12%
I don't
black
know,
people.
Okay, I don't even know if Trump himself. I don't think I can call Trump racist. I think he's an opportunist.
Yo, absolutely.
Do you understand?
You capitalize
People
on
are calling him
situation.
racist, but I've not seen anything personally. I might be wrong. I have not seen anything that. So I can see the things that people are calling him racist for.
Yeah.
I can see them, but I can also see the leeway out of it why he can argue and be right that say it's not racist.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Right? I've not seen anything inherently racist that is supported.
Yes.
Now, a lot of the things that he wants to build a wall, you can argue that it's about nationalism
And preservation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right? Preservation of the national wealth for the people, and you can't blame him for saying why is our wealth keep going to other people. But I can also understand people that are saying your entire country is built on the back of
these
immigrants.
people.
Exactly. Of
Yeah.
Does that make
immigrants.
sense?
So why
I
is-
get it
exactly.
But I can also understand this point. So it's not inherently wrong. So I think Trump is an opportunist. That's what I think he is. And I think even all of these people, I don't know if Trump believes a lot of things he's saying at times. But Trump is in the game of controlling narratives.
Absolutely.
And he's a master of that shit.
Absolutely.
And I can understand why people are saying he was trying to, maybe planted that shit. I can understand the
theatrics.
theories.
But
I don't think
but
so.
I think it's false.
I don't think so.
I think it's false.
I don't think so. Because nobody will put. What if Ibon Ekolo? She military train shooter.
Bro, the thing where you turn for
brother.
Bro,
And
I
people
do not
died.
know.
Like 2 or 3 people died.
Exactly.
Did
man.
anybody die?
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
3 people
Even
died,
the guy
3
who
people
shot
behind
died. So to think that all of that was orchestrated, an amateur shooter, bringing an amateur shooter to shoot and graze his ear
How
and
is
all of that.
Trump still
And
outside walking?
No, but boy, no. And
That's why.
I don't understand how insane that
That's why
is.
some people are also finding it hard to believe. It's like, how did you recover from this? So
No,
quickly?
that's not even what I'm saying. Okay, mentally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, I'll be in my house for a week.
yes. So that's why some people are also doubting it. It's like, how are you able to move this quickly
But
after this happened?
Again, opportunist.
Yeah.
Opportunist. He knows that is locked in.
If he capitalizes at this point in time, he knows that he will control the narrative of
Have
the
you-
election day.
did you hear his speech?
I heard it now.
Bro, he didn't
Bro.
accuse Biden once.
Not once.
Very sympathetic and empathetic.
Baba just explained the scenario.
Bruh.
Brought his granddaughter to speak. Nah, man. Trump.
Well orchestrated,
No,
bro.
forget that guy.
But another thing that this tells me is I hate the fact that I believe that some of these countries were better than Nigeria in terms of the polity.
Bruh. No,
They are not.
Yeah, they recycle.
They are the same.
They
I can't believe there was a time in my
are
life.
they are just a bit more respectful of the electorate.
I agree.
They are.
Than we.
So that's the major difference, because now over there you see how much energy they put into being the chosen candidate.
Yeah.
They put into selling themselves so much that you like them to vote. In Nigeria, people they're not trying to sell themselves. They'll do small work.
Yeah.
But nobody will put the other work.
Yes, now,
Because
there's
these
a blatant
talawa.
disrespect.
It's a blatant
Did you say
disrespect.
talawa?
Talawa.
That's
Am I
what this
worried?
episode.
They'll be like, Ma pe Roscoe. Roscoe, she might do
Roscoe ni deeper life. Emi Tinama. Roscoe ni Tinama. Emi deeper life.
So there's no energy.
There's a blatant
People like
disrespect and
Actually, ó máa pe Roscoe ni cinema nemi deeper life. Tilẹ̀ bá ti mọ̀ ọ́ máa pe dílà gbọ́dọ̀.
So now they've even made the people lose faith in the system. It's like
The electoral
whatever,
process.
regardless of whatever it is that who I'm voting for, it's not going to count, and that is problematic as fuck.
from the
Is
jump.
it problematic or is it just? I feel sorry for us as a people.
Yes, it's even more for
Yeah.
like Ekpele.
Look,
Tita.
Okay, let me not say I don't feel sorry for us, but like, I mean, we ought to know that we are involved in low resolution decision making
Facts.
as an electorate.
Facts.
Look, the most important decisions have been made by a select few. For instance, for the mere fact that we as the electorate are not involved in the primaries, it means that, look, whatever it is that whatever we are doing in the elections, is as far as I'm concerned, it's a blatant waste of time. You know why? Because a select few will present you options. Now, by their own decisions, they will tell you these are the people these are the options available for you as a nation. Pick one. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why am I not involved in the process of picking the options that would even be available for the general elections, right?
Yeah.
So for whatever reason that you have given me options. You are now saying, out of these ones that I have presented to you, pick one.
Which are most likely people that I would not have picked in the
I would not have picked in the first place. So
isn't that how it works generally?
so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a fault with the process.
Yeah.
Right?
Generally,
it's a fault
across
with
the
the
world.
process. So I'll then say, okay, so how then do I get involved in this thing? It means I have to get a party ticket.
Yes.
I have to become a member of the party.
Yes, but look,
and I
young
become a
people
member
don't
of the
want
party,
to.
I will then recycle the same thing that is
same
going
process.
on.
Yep.
So it's a lose-lose situation.
It is a
as far as I'm
lose-lose
concerned.
situation.
Because let's be honest, if Peter Obi was, I keep saying this, if he was the PDP's candidate last year, he would be the president of this country right now. Yeah. You don't think so?
I do not know that.
He would not face the same pitfalls.
I can't be sure that he would still have been able to 100% withstand the war chest of resources and, brevity that these people came with. Are you aware of the fact that, there are levels that these people can take things to, but they did not take things to that level because I'm on labor. You understand? And PDP, you understand? There are levels that they can take it to, but they did not take it there.
Yeah.
So now imagine
You think that's part of why he won in Lagos.
So yes, now they don't look say, you understand? I'm sure
Because they were so confident.
You understand?
Yes.
They gave that away so that, and they probably did it because they wanted it to make it look as fair and fair.
a bit more realistic in nature.
No, I don't
But
agree with
bro,
that one.
Imagine that.
Makes sense, though.
Imagine that he was actually the flag bearer for PDP, and they know that Omo is just us against this. Because now, look at it from this perspective, brother. This past election, whilst Peter Obi was, obedience, Peter Obi, blah, 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 while focusing on him, they also had to keep an eye on Atiku, right? Imagine that Atiku was out of the picture. It was only Obi. And they knew that this is our only enemy. Imagine the levels
They would have gone.
that they would have gone.
That Lagos wouldn't have.
Bro, it wouldn't have happened.
The reason I even don't think so is that the reason I don't think that if he were the flag bearer of PDP, he would have easily won. Like maybe he would have won or not, but I don't think it would have been an easy thing because you guys also forget that the reason Peter Obi was able to pull that movement
It was because of the underdog status.
the people that supported him wouldn't have if he were the flag bearer of PDP.
But Melody, I think people bought into him so much
Because of the fact that he was we're believing in that.
Was an underdog, outsider.
Thing.
People were also following him into the PDP primaries.
Yes,
he was
sir.
in the PDP
Yes,
primaries.
sir.
Don't
But
forget.
he didn't have this following now.
No, he did.
No, I disagree 100.
No, he didn't have this magnitude, Chow.
I disagree.
He didn't have this
100.
magnitude. There were some
It was
people
when
who
he declared
primarily
for
bought
LP.
in
Are you
because
joking?
he was an underdog.
Yes.
And because now the political elite had a problem with him. So they're like, because PDP and APC both have a problem with this guy, I'm buying into him.
And also, he also sold that narrative of, I'm in a party that is new and does not have godfathers.
The guy
Exactly.
did a masterclass in branding.
Bro, it was a masterclass.
So it's like LP is new. Don't you want a president without godfathers?
Yeah.
A brand new slate.
Let's have outsiders
Let's
in
have-
there.
Even though he wasn't an outsider.
No, of course
Of
not.
course
Bro,
not.
he's an
But-
integral part of the system.
I
Do you
was
understand?
like, oh my God, this person is in this party. People are like, oh my God, is
I
this
think
new
that's
party?
the part
This
that
party
I
is-
respected
is-
the most
is
about it.
brand new. There's no
branding.
godfathers here.
No, the branding. They made it look like
this is a movement
na
for
fresher.
the people. Yes,
For
now
where?
fresh.
But Baba don't, bro.
Bruh,
And
I had it around pots under Abacha or something, or some shit like that.
bro, you know, one thing that
I don't know that.
I think I saw something like that. That he made a lot of money from the
my
pots.
perspective has always been that, look, whoever is going to sanitize this country is not going to be an outsider. It has to be someone inside
So
the
it's
system.
never going to be because you
It can
can't
never be
win
an
as an
outsider.
outsider.
But it's just the game
Shout
of
to
the
Burna
lesser
Boy.
devil.
You have to be inside the system,
Yes.
and you can't do things. You can't do everything by the books.
You will learn to walk the system.
Exactly.
You have to know how to walk.
Bro, you go manipulate the system, so
now.
you have to know all the tricks. in
Yeah, and the tricks
Yeah.
and the trade.
It's just a thing of lesser devil.
This conversation is flowing.
Wow.
It's
To
a thing
round
of
up,
lesser
guys.
devil.
Yeah.
Veda, are you going to come back?
It's not a problem.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Why you're talking to your men in high places?
Well,
why
money
is
must
João
be
Romo-
made.
It's
It's already my birthday, anyways.
Woo!
Let's have it. Let's have it.
Sorry, I'm trying to twerk, but the bum bum is not there.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm trying. Sorry.
Roscoe ni cinnamon, let me deeper
I
life.
just wanted to try.
Roscoe ni deeper life, let me
I
cinnamon.
appreciate the effort.
Melody, the truth is we are not Roscoe's on this podcast.
That's your business. I just wanted to say something for the birthday, but
Menda.
happy birthday, Fada!
Thank you. Actually, much appreciate.
But don't know, as you say,
Thank you for the-
follow us on YouTube, at Zero Conditions, like page you are, follow our Lori
Melody,
Instagram
this is not Wazobia in nature.
at Zero Conditions. If you comment, at
Speak English.
I
It's not
fẹ́ gbọ́
Wazobia.
ìròyìn yín.
Heroine.
Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the Zero Conditions podcast. This episode was brought to you by Chivas, Regal and Pop Central Channel 189 on DSTV. Guest today, is Fader the White Card,
Hey, Daddy Wine can.
a.k.a.
Brother
Samagro.
Sane.
a.k.a. Frank Ikemefuni. Oluwatobiloba. Thank you.
Kò ní bàjẹ́. Who used to say kò ní bàjẹ́?
But only a kuna.
Baby.
Kò ní bàjẹ́, baby.
Oh, I'm good.